What's up, everyone? This is the Oklahoma Prepper, and it's that time again. It is garden season. Well, it's actually past garden season. But anyways, let's take a look at what I got. And yeah, just come with me. So really quick, before we get too far into this, I just want to explain that because of the obvious, I've been off work for a few days. Excuse me. With this whole coronavirus stuff, and I'll do a video on that here in just a little bit. I'll post another video about that regarding that crap. And anyways, so I've had some time off all week. I go back to work tonight, and yeah, really quick before I forget, I have, depending on what my new schedule looks like this week, I may have a very, very awesome guest here on the channel, and I think you guys might like it. A couple of awesome guests, actually, and hopefully we can get that going on, depending on my schedule. So let's hope and pray that it works out for us. All right, anyways, let's get started on the garden. Okay, so first of all, excuse my mess, because I've got a lot of things that I'm going to reuse. I'm reusing from last year. For example, these 4-inch pots. These have, I believe they're beefsteak tomatoes. I've got some bell peppers, some wildflowers here and there, a little bit everywhere. These, however, I bought new. These are the Jiffy Pods. This, I've got some beefsteak tomatoes, brandywine tomatoes, jalapeno tomatoes, okra, sweet tomatoes, little sweetie tomatoes, little grape tomato, or cherry tomatoes, actually. You guys can see what I was talking about, my mess. I'm going to reuse these this year. I'm going to sanitize them with peroxide. And yeah, I haven't planted anything there yet. This entire half's going to be watermelons. I only had about 8 or 10 to do. That one's not full. Anyways, cantaloupe, cucumbers, and a little bit of watermelon. On that, I had ran out of cucumber seeds. And this is all squash right here. So I've got some more. This is actually not wildflowers. If you can see there, it's Milo. This is actually bird seed. I have a old pie plate, an old ceramic pie plate that I usually use for the bird seed, and it was actually sprouting. So I went ahead and planted that to kind of have a little bit of something for the birds to nibble on. So let's get around here and we'll take a look at my garden and explain to you what's going on with it this year. Oh, really quick, this is the potting soil I'm using. Nothing fancy, American Seed. It's the same company as these right here. I can't remember who these are. Plantation Products. And you guys remember years ago when I tried my first garden, everything just died. I'm gonna give it another shot. If not, then I'll go to Lowe's and buy some expensive stuff. So the property's a mess. I've got a carpet there. I've been trying to clean up, and you cannot tell, judging by how tall the grass is, that I mowed 2 days ago. But anyways, I've got my push mower. This tiller is down, so I'm actually borrowing the Husqvarna. My Earthquake is down. I've got to get some carburetor work done on it. And it's tarped up because you guys can see it's cloudy, quite a bit cloudy out here. So yeah. And I'm doing some wildflowers, so I've got some tires pulled out, and I've gotten a lot done. I've gotten this garden, you can see I got a little bit tilled up. I've got it mowed down so I can get ready to till it. I'm actually going to be, all of the tomatoes, if you notice, all those tomato varieties are indeterminate varieties. So what I'm going to do is you see this T-post here, I'm going to put a few of them, all of this is going to be all tomatoes. So I'm going to put a few more up, and this is all going to be in this fenced in area right here is all going to be tomatoes. I'm going to trellis up the tomatoes. I'm going to take that fence down, and I'm going to trellis up the tomatoes. I'm going to put some more T-posts up and trellis the tomatoes to where it makes it a lot easier for me to harvest them. I'm doing something I probably, in hindsight, think I should have done. We'll walk over here and take a look. You can see right up this row, and then from there back is onions. This entire area right here is actually going to be the watermelons, and let's see, the watermelons and cantaloupes and tomatoes and squash are going to be in this area, this front area. The back is going to be cucumbers and peppers and okra. And the reason for that is because if you don't know how big watermelons can get, they can get pretty big. And to carry them from back here to the garden all the way up to the front of the property is going to be a lot of work, and I'm going to try to do as little of that as possible. I got this old tree that I'm trimming up. I probably just need to cut it down. Eventually both of these trees are actually going to come down. This little burn pile is just some old stuff that was left over from a mimosa tree that died off, and I just burned up the pile right here. And this stuff is limbs from whenever I cut, when I trimmed up the limbs off of that, and a little bit right there. This is actually, I'm going to preserve this area and make it like a little hangout area. That's partly what what all of the wildflowers are for. But I'm gonna redo. You can see right there where I've mowed this, where everything that I'm walking in. I'm gonna mow all the way back there, cut them trees down along the side of that house, and get this cleaned up and ready to garden. Which I know I'm behind. It's March 27th. I'm way behind on this, but I'd rather be behind than not do it at all. So onions are in that little wet area where it's watered. Actually, I watered that yesterday, so with it being really cloudy, it's actually holding water a lot better, so it makes everything a lot better for the day. I've got a rick of firewood. Got it delivered this morning because we usually have another cold snap at the end of the year, or at the end of the season, and it's going to get down to the 40s here in the next couple of days. It's weird because yesterday was 90 degrees. We had actually set, I think the high was set at 93 is what the high ended up being yesterday. So yeah, that's going to be a part of yeah, that'll hopefully, like I said, if everything works out, the guy that I buy my firewood from, he'll be on the show, and I think you guys for the most part would enjoy that show, that video, hopefully when it comes out here in a couple of weeks. All right, so that's a look at what we're doing right now. Again, depending on how my schedule looks this week at work, that will determine whether or not I'm going to be able to have a guest come out. I do apologize. That is a mess that right there. That's a mess that needs to be cleaned up, and I'm going to be, hopefully, if I can get some more time off this week, be able to get that done. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and keep prepping.